Good morning. Thank you for coming. My name is Miguel Cordova. I am a software engineer at UNED. UNED is the Spanish biggest distance learning university. In fact, it's the second biggest university, distance learning university in Europe, behind the Open University from UK. I'm going to make a little brief of my work, and then I'm going to give the word to Alejandro Rodriguez-Ascaso, with a teacher from UNED also, who is talking about accessibility more in depth. And if Vicente Goyanes comes, we're going to give the word to him because he's a CEO from Teltec Video Research, a company that works very close to UNED in video research, video hostage, a lot of software solutions. And that was the company who, in a very little framework of time, helped us to get an edX running and production. Vicente is going to talk about that. If he didn't come, maybe I could take a little. So, UNED is a big university with about 200,000 students per year in undergraduate and masters, so on. Because of their numbers, we have also 7,000 students with special needs. They are disabled students with they are blind, deaf, physical limitation, and whatever. So make us to be a lot to make an effort on accessibility issues on every solution we have, not only on internet, but in technology in general. And my work is in a little department of UNED, who is called UNED Abierta. Abierta is a word that means open, because UNED has presence not only in Europe, but also around the world, but mainly in Latin America. So maybe we are the biggest public university about Spanish courses, not only Spanish, but mainly. So UNED, 10 years ago, started to develop open resources, open educational resources with OpenCourseware. Nowadays, those courses are also live, but not up to date anymore. So 4 or 5 years ago, we started to make MOOC courses with our own platform, and you know that's a lot of effort. So 2 years ago, we start to move to Open edX. So in the last year, from December 2015, we make a production server, and in 1 year we have reached 110,000 users with 110 courses. We have made those users has enrollments in more than 150 courses, and you can do the numbers. We have some courses with less than 1,000 students, but other courses we have more than 10,000 students in enrollments. So that's pretty impressive. In May last year, we started to develop certificates, and only 1 year we have made more than 5,000 certificates by verified students, which is pretty cool also. Of course, because of the language, because of Spanish, we are focused on Spain and Latin America countries, Spanish spoken. So This is the main environment at UNED, but mainly at UNED Abierta, about the MOOC courses, we need to serve, we need to be AA compliant, and we have a project last year, maybe before summer. My boss came in the department and say, "Hey, we have a new project. We have an agreement with Fundación ONCE, which is a Spanish foundation about blind people, not only blind, but mainly. And we have an objective to give one course until the end of the year with the AA compliant." That was the project. I think the users are very happy, because in a short time we made a migration from Birch to Dogwood, and then in our new Dogwood we made a lot of changes that Vicente is going to talk later. So I'm going to give the word to Alejandro to continue with the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Alejandro Rodriguez-Ascaso. I'm a lecturer at UNED. I'm a lecturer at the Computer Science faculty. I am a researcher in ICT accessibility. I have participated in several EU-funded projects, included the project with the biggest project in the EU about online accessibility to higher education, EU for All, where Open University took part, UNED, which are the two biggest universities in Europe, and several other developing and IT companies. So, Fundación ONCE, just as Miguel said, is one of the main disability organizations in Spain, and they believe that the future of accessibility is training professionals. Training professionals to build a more accessible world. So that's the future, and that's the concern, and we are very happy they have trusted us to create a channel to provide open online training on universal design, targeting all professionals, either if they are already active or if they are starting to become future professionals. So the project is funded by Fundación ONCE and by the Ministry of Health, Social Services and Equality of Spain. So we have 3 courses right now. The first one was in fall last year, Human-Computer Interaction, Universal Design and Support Products. We have more than 500 enrollments. 15%, this is a percentage symbol missing here, 15% of certificates, which is, we are very happy about that. And then running now is a MOOC about ICT accessibility and public procurement, which is a hot topic in Europe. We have a new European law about accessibility, ICT in public procurement. And we are running now a course with a lot of civil servants who are interested, because in 2 years' time, this European law will be obligatory, mandatory in Spain. And then next fall, we will begin a MOOC on accessible digital materials. Then we need, as Miguel said, we need to ensure the accessibility of our MOOC platform and also the accessibility of our courses. First, because we must lead by example, we are talking about ICT accessibility. We are focusing on professionals, but also some professionals are disabled. UNED has more than 7,000 disabled students. And we are disseminating, we are marketing our courses, firstly around our UNED students, of course. We have to attend them as they need. And of course, the accessibility needs of the workforce is increasing as our population is aging. So this is where we live. This is the Dogwood instance of UNED Abierta. And we know, I forgot to say that we are also working on a workflow to produce accessible online learning material in a sustainable way, okay? That's a different part of the work we are doing, but we are producing a sustainable line, which means that we are using the same materials to produce the MOOC content and to produce EPUB version 3 ebooks, accessible ones with JavaScript, with buttons, with tests. So we are working on that one. We are happy that we are collaborating with the publisher, UNED Publishing Unit, and with the multimedia unit of UNED. But today we are concentrating on the platform accessibility. So we know that accessibility is a key feature for Open edX and its community. We love that, and that there's a lot of good features in accessibility, and more have been announced in this conference. So we are more happy even. And however, we needed to check how was the accessibility of that, and in a very limited time. So we have run a project. I'm happy that I heard the other day Joel Barciauskas mentioning that how we can help to the community. Then he said, okay, please conduct experiments and research and provide feedback. And that's what we want to do. So regarding the platform accessibility, our vision. I think MOOC accessibility is complex. Online education accessibility is complex. You need to go through different stages since you disseminate your course, you publicize, students make a prospect about which course they want to course. They then go to administrative procedures, they access the contents, they go to assessment, they get their certificate, they want to use this badge in their profile. I mean, it's complex. So we are working with the Institute of Educational Technology of the Open University in the United Kingdom with the OLA project, which is the Open Learning Accessibility. We have several publications on that. If you are interested, I can give you more details. Because accessibility should be considered as with a holistic approach. Then, just considering the web accessibility standard, we are using evidently the AA level within WCAG, and we are also adding Spanish sign language interpretation, because the people sponsoring us say that this is convenient, and we are very happy about that. It costs money, but I think we are attracting deaf people who are users of sign language. So the methodology for our work on accessibility on the edX platform was first an accessibility inspection with Emmanuel Gutierrez, who couldn't attend. She's an expert. She was a participant in good standing in WCAG, and she's invited an expert in several WCC projects within WAY. And then she conducted an evaluation with users on a pilot course. We had a blind person with low vision, one older person, and one person with no mobility in upper limbs, and using different support products. So, and then we had a monitorization of accessibility once we are running our real course. After stages 1, the inspection, second, evaluation with users, and after the monitorization of problems during the real course, we have been developing. I mean, this has to be a very agile project because we had very short time. We are very happy to collaborate with Vicente Goyanes and with Teltec because, well, we met for the first time yesterday, but we have been working for 1 year and a half in a distributed environment using Redmine tickets, and I think everything has gone smoothly. So I leave the word to Vicente.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me the floor, Alejandro. I'm Vicente Goyanes. I'm the CEO of Teltec Video Research. We are the company providing the MOOC environment to UNED. It's based on Open edX Dogwood, as Miguel already said. And Just 10 seconds about our company. We are a company born here in Spain in a university campus. And we are focused on, in the beginning, we were focused on lecture capture and online solutions for teaching and learning, online video solutions for teaching and learning in a natural way. We end working also in MOOC video production and in Open edX as MOOC platform. We have currently customers and clients all over the world. And for this specific project, UNED present us this really hard challenge to upgrade Dogwood to a AA level of accessibility in less than 2 months. Well, we tried to do it. Our role in the project was the technology provider. We should fix the bugs, not bugs, but accessibility issues, and of course, provide the infrastructure for the other participants in the project. We provide staging Open edX infrastructure, also the ticketing system for the distributed task force, and code management. In fact, we did a fork of the official code base in our GitHub site, and we were also using GitLab for the theming. The workflow was something like this. The expert did the accessibility audit, and all the tickets or all the accessibility issues were reflected or filed as tickets on the internal Redmine site, but also we tried to file those tickets on the official Jira of the edX project. After that, our developers start fixing the issues. The modified code was uploaded to the GitHub fork. And after that, it was automatically deployed to the pre-production environment using Ansible. The next step was to do an internal QA by our QA department, but also an external QA by the accessibility expert. And after that, after having a compliant green light from both QA units, then we start deploying, or we deployed on the real production platform of UNED. As far as we know, the client was happy, project is finished. We addressed close to 20 accessibility issues. I must say that our feeling is that we get low response on the public tickets on edX Jira. Anyhow, all the code is public on our fork. So anyone with Dogwood in production, I know that it's been, the recommendation could be to upgrade to Ficus, but maybe it's not so easy if you have a production environment, and if you need in a short term, if you need in short term to upgrade it to the accessibility level of a Dogwood in production, I invite you to check this code. Anyhow, we are planning to contribute as soon as possible to the master branch, if needed, because maybe we need to study the accessibility state of Ficus, and maybe many of these issues are already fixed on the master branch. And that's it from my side. It was a successful project, in my opinion. We finally, thanks to this conference, we meet together, all the team, and that's it. Thank you. Sorry, this is not the end of the conference, of the talk.
So just to brief you about the results of the accessibility audit, we identified 35 errors, problems, and belonging to 28 criteria. And this is more or less the distribution of the other problems that we spotted. I just give you 3 examples. One of them was there was a keyboard strap affecting the About page. Once you launch the video, you couldn't escape that modal window unless you went the whole set of buttons of the player. I think this has been fixed now. So yes, also there's a poor marking of messages. But we fixed that. We marked them as paragraphs and with headings, appropriate headings where needed. And just to finish with our presentation, it was funny because on the first day, on Tuesday, I went to the UX workshop. Very interesting. Thanks to Liz and to all the colleagues who were running. And the problem we chose, it was by coincidence, is that the users who enroll but never access MOOC contents. And during the real course, we found out that a blind person couldn't access the course because she had forgotten her password. She is a user of macOS Sierra, and also she is using iOS. And she's using both VoiceOver and of course, Safari and Chrome. She couldn't find it because the form wasn't correctly marked as such. So she couldn't find where to, the VoiceOver wouldn't prompt her to enter her email address. So he could never. But we were discussing in the UX workshop that reminding students who have enrolled that the course has begun, and encouraging them to access the course, giving them an email address to contact support. That's the way we recover this standard. That's the way we brought her back to the course. So that was very helpful and happened. I described this situation in the UX workshop we had the other day. Very useful. So conclusions. We are very, very happy to work with edX and its community. Improving accessibility is part of our mission, and we are willing to contribute. And our vision is that you are considering more and more user agents, mobile user agents. More and more support products are coming. Android is pushing forwards in a very interesting way, we believe. And so having contributors from all over the world, especially if they have methodology and they have good numbers of users, could be very interesting for the whole community. So we are finishing our presentation, but very happy to discuss with you in case you have any question or comments. Thank you.
Hi. With regard to the sign language videos, how are you guys delivering the sign language interpretation? Is it burnt into the video, the primary media, or is it a picture-in-a-picture type solution? I was just curious about that.
We are just burning it into the video, but I mean, this has been very interesting because we are working with the people in our multimedia unit so that they get used to produce with sign language. That is good from the point of view of our workflow to produce learning materials. But we are producing them as separate learning objects, and they will be stored differently in our learning objects repository. And we are using ISO metadata schemes for describing learning object accessibility features. And in the future, we will be able, when we have the appropriate player, and Vicente is also working with Teltec and with Themap to produce a new player based on an open source one, we will be able to switch on and off the sign language.
What player would that be?
Well, it's an able player.
Able player.
More.
Okay.
Okay, that's we are looking for. The development has not begun yet.
Yeah,
El micrófono. I can lend you this.
Sorry. We are working on a couple of solutions, and during the lightning talks in the next slot, I will be presenting more about the video infrastructure we are working with. And one solution, or the more advanced solution, is based on a player that is able to play several synchronous videos. So you have a content that is built or it's created with the user experience is watching several videos that you can choose and you can resize in real time. So you can have a track, a video track that is how is the name in English? The signer or the interpreter. The sign interpreter that can be activated or deactivated if you need it, if you want. Well, that's the idea.
One other follow-up question on that line. So it's interesting that you're prioritizing the sign language interpretation. I was wondering if you have gotten any requests for audio description, and if that is something that you plan on supporting as well.
Yeah. That's part of the other project. We are currently we are asking our lecturers, our academics, to produce they are producing their learning material, their content for the courses, and then writing their script for the video recording, okay? So the recommendation now is to describe what's happening, the visual information in their script. We are not performing, we have done that in the past. We have several learning materials with audio description, but that's taking a lot of time. That's taking a lot of time of our technicians at the multimedia unit, and we are doing that. We cannot do that with everything. If you have a chemistry or you have an animation, complex animation about physics or whatever, we will need to provide that probably in a separate file. That's our vision now, but we are checking. We have provided we are prospecting both ways.
So to summarize, you're focusing more on training the course teams to avoid the requirement of audio description by being more descriptive in their scripts and in their pre-production. Okay.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes. We believe that that's the most efficient way so far. But we are aware that won't be always possible.
Great. Agreed. It's a universal design approach. Cool. We should talk more after your talk about what edX's official plans for supporting more accessible video features are, because there may be some overlap. And we've actually created a X block with Able Player as an experiment because we wanted to showcase a lot of the Able Player features. We found that the code wasn't very robust, and we may implement many of the features in Able Player in either our player or some other solution. So
that's good. We'll talk afterward. Thank you.
Thank you for your talk. I would like to know, from a technical point of view, which were the biggest challenge to overcome to get the minimum accessibility level that you need for your organization, and also if you have another challenges which are in this moment trying to overcome.
Well, from a technical point of view, it was more. The main challenge was the tight schedule. I mean, it's this project. If you have 6 months to do the project, it's just to fix many issues. But the coordination of a distributed team, having to deliver a production environment in less than 2 months with real students enrolled in a real accessible course, and the commitment with this huge blind people of organization by UNED, it was really a challenge. The other, well, it's many accessibility issues are just this kind of lack of labels or something like that. From the technical point of view, it was more digging in the code of Open edX to find where to fix something, and as soon as you know where to fix it, the fix is really not rocket science. Welcome.
What's your strategy for assessing the accessibility of course content?
Okay. We are working mostly in the good practice in the design part. We are working. We have two ways. We have people who are producing their content in Microsoft Word, people who are directly coding in HTML. So we are training people to take good, make good practices, but we have a person who is devoted to virtualizing the courses. She's an expert as well in accessibility. So her virtualization is very good. In the first course, after she virtualized, then the accessibility expert, Emanuele Gutierrez, came to check that all was correct. To tell you the truth, we don't have a well-established quality or accessibility management. We are trying to communicate or to train authors in good practices when they are writing. For instance, they are asking them from the beginning to write alternative descriptions for images. We ask them to produce good tables, not only regular tables. We ask them to produce a glossary for deaf people, which is something which is not in the platform accessibility but in the content. We ask them to structure in a coherent way their courses, which is good for every user, I would say. And that's what we have so far.
We should chat afterwards, because we've done some work in automation for assessing the platform itself, but content as well. So,
okay.
Yeah, let's follow.
Thank you very much. That will be very interesting. Okay. Okay, we are in time. Thank you very much for the answer.